Hello, my name is Nolan Rhodes, and today I'll be discussing voting and representation. I'll be doing so by discussing some of the elected officials that represent me up in Washington, as well on the more local and state level. In this presentation, I'll also include the federal senators of California, as well as a couple other more local elected officials that represent the community which I live in. And the community I live in is Canyon Lake, California, which is situated in the hills between the communities of Lake Elsinore and Menifee. I'll also discuss gerrymandering, or the possibility of gerrymandering in these featured districts. Federal Senators of California. So the federal senators of California are Dianne Feinstein and Kamala Harris. Now there's two federal senators for every state, no matter the population. So Dianne Feinstein, she's been serving since 1992, and Kamala Harris was recently elected in 2016. So 2017 is her first year as a senator for California. Now California, they have the way their elections are set up is they just during the primary race they take the two top people no matter their political party and they run for it. So Kamala Harris ran against another fellow Democrat by the name of Loretta Sanchez. Now, a little interesting tidbits as we're talking about local government. Loretta Sanchez was the representative, U.S. representative for the community I used to live in, which I moved from a year ago, was Santa Ana, California. This is the member of Congress, the U.S. representative that serves my district, which is the 42nd Congressional District. His name is Ken Calvert. He's a Republican. He's been serving this district since 2013. As you can see on the map here, the 42nd Congressional District is primarily the southwestern portion of Riverside County, excluding Riverside. This is the California State Senate District 28. The senator for this district is Jeff Stone, and as you can see on the map, the 28th Senate District is the most of Riverside County, excluding Riverside, Moreno Valley, Hemet, and some of those communities in that surrounding area. And also to include the state senator is not to be confused with the federal senator. Like a federal senator, sorry, the state senator is elected, by the community area, and he's elected to go represent, our community in Sacramento, rather than the whole state electing for a senator to represent the whole state in Washington. California State Assembly. So the assemblywoman that represents my district, her name is Melissa Melendez, and she's been serving the 67th district since 2012. And you see in the map, the assembly district is much smaller than the state senate district, and it's only made up of a couple more local communities rather than more county-wide thing for Riverside County anyway. In other counties it may be a lot smaller for their state senate district. As I mentioned in the second slide earlier in this presentation, I mentioned gerrymandering. What exactly is gerrymandering? Gerrymandering is when the elected officials who are responsible for drawing the various outlines of these districts, they do so with intent to capture some demographics that help their political party, reign or stay in power. So just so you get a better idea of what gerrymandering is, sorry. Let's look at State Senate District 28, which is the bottom right picture, which is narrowly held by Jeff Stone, narrowly held by Republican Party and represented by Jeff Stone, who is a Republican. Let's say if they wanted it to go, very narrowly to the Democrat Party, they would shave off a little bit on one side, like where I live, which is mostly Republican, and let's say they add in, parts of Riverside, which is more of a Democrat area, and just that little variation could be enough to switch the whole area for the Democrat Party. Now, I looked into it a little bit, researched a little bit for these districts, and I don't believe gerrymandering is too big of an issue here. like the U.S. general election, it very narrowly voted for Donald Trump, but the inverse could be said with my districts. They're very narrowly for Republican, and most of the other districts in the area are either very narrowly or very heavily Democrat. It's kind of like a red spot in a sea of blue, if you will. I mean, sure, there's some other districts in the area that vote Republican, but as of most of Southern California, it's Democrat. So the argument could be made that gerrymandering was used just to have this a little oasis, if you will, for the Republicans in this area. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you and have a nice day.